fuck is up, y'all? Scotty Balls and RONE.
What up?
Here we were on a hiatus last week, but we are back today for another episode. I gotta straighten my fucking camera out. But another episode of UFCD pre-show. Make sure you stay tuned for Speaky Clout Podcast, Mike Sears and motherfucking Siznak for the main show, the main event.
RONE, 45 minutes. I'm doing good. How about you?
Not too bad, man. Been pretty fucking busy. That's for sure.
Yeah, I hear that, man.
Busy week. So it was good to see Brooklyn was doing a show again this week, you know, and seeing the contenders tonight was pretty interesting. I do not remember if you are a Tempest hater, but I think you were, right? Were you not a fan of Tempest?
No, I do not like the Tempest.
So, and you know, I fucking love the Tempest. So it should be an interesting matchup between, you know, including the Calm and Eye of the Storm. So
I gotta throw this out there. The Eye of the Storm, right? Mm-hmm. I've never heard this. Even going into this show, I've never listened to this EP.
Wow, really? Really?
Yep. I've never listened to it. I'm just gonna be just honest here. 2000, what year's the Tempest? 2007.
Yeah.
Psychopathic in general, 2006, 2007, maybe even a little bit of 05 was just probably the worst era of Psychopathic in my opinion. Just
it was an odd era, absolutely. You know, it was, you know, the Joker's cards were completed. And it was like, well, what's ICP going to do next? You know,
right.
What's their next shit going to be? And then we got that answer with this shit, right?
Yes.
And it was completely produced, completely, everything was done strictly by ICP, right?
Yeah, ICP themselves did it, yeah. It was the first time that they completely produced anything on their own.
In celebration of this era, I'm treating you guys to a very special treat. And it is one of the worst T-shirts ever that ICP has ever put out, was released during this era. And I'm wearing that right now under this white T-shirt. So I'm going to show this shit off. Be prepared.
I can't wait to see this. Be
prepared for the amazing fucking shirt that this is. And I got to try to get in. Look at this shit.
Oh, that is
Insane Clown Posse.
That's so fresh.
And then it has the fucking Calm. And I'm going to tell you right now, the shirt is like 2 sizes smaller than what I usually wear. But, you know, it was hanging up in my little stash. And I thought, what better night to wear it than tonight?
There you go.
So,
I don't even remember that shirt back in the day. I'll be honest, I kind of fell off during this era just because nothing they were putting out was just, I don't know, man. That aura around the Dark Carnival and, you know, the Joker's cards, it was gone, you know, and it was
right. It was
like Calm. And I remember, you know, this is the first music where it was like, it wasn't Dark Carnival, you know, and
yeah, it was the Calm. There was a lot of hype for it. I remember that Hell Wicked. They came out with the track "Wicked Halloween," and I'm not sure if it was before or after the Calm was released, but Boondocks had been signed. Axe Murder Boys had just been signed around that era.
Yeah.
So they were like focusing a lot on other newer artists at that time. And I don't know, their music took a hit with the Calm for me anyway. But let's get into these fucking tracks, right?
Yeah. Do you remember before the Calm came out, they were like, what is ICP going to do? And they had actually teased that they were going to go solo.
Yeah.
Under their real names, I believe.
Yeah, I remember. That's when it was like first released that they were going to be doing like a Bloody Brothers album and shit, wasn't it?
I believe so.
It was like right around that time period.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a tough time going through these songs because I've never listened to The Eye of the Storm, and combined the Calm and the Tempest, I probably listened to both maybe a handful of times.
Well, you know what? Tonight's show with Siznak and Mike Sears should be pretty interesting for you. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
if you're not very familiar with the album, Eye of the Storm, I fucking love Eye of the Storm. You know, I'm just saying off the top of my head, remembering these albums. The Calm was very I lackluster for me, but Eye of the Storm really, I love quite a few of the tracks on there.
That was the return of Mike E. Clark.
Yeah, absolutely. Wicked Halloween was actually his intro track back into. Yeah, all right. But the Tempest, that was a huge year for me. That was the last time I would see ICP and Twisted do a tour together. I never saw the American Psychos tour, but the Tempest tour, they toured together. Last time I saw the Clowns and Twisted share a stage, like, as different groups, you know? So that was a pretty big show for me.
Oh, yeah.
But let's get into this shit. We have the intro to the Calm, and we have The Sky is Falling off the Tempest.
Yes, sir.
What do you remember about the intro to the Calm?
Nothing. I don't remember either song, either one. This is gonna be interesting, man. I think you're gonna be doing a lot of commentating, and I'm gonna be keeping track of your votes tonight.
Well, I'll tell you right now, The Sky.
There's a few songs from the Tempest I remember, and there's one song I remember from the Calm.
Well, the intro, The Sky is Falling, I definitely would choose over the Calm. The Calm is kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to remember how it went, but The Sky is Falling was actually kind of a song, you know? Talking about Violent J and Shaggy coming in on, like, different parts of a storm. The sky is falling. And it sounded like Isham did choruses in there just for that song.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it sounds like Isham to me. And that's right around that era. So, you know, I'm going to say Sky is Falling. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I can't vote. I just don't remember. And I didn't listen coming into the show just because I didn't want to, just didn't want to listen to it.
So I like sent you the graphic. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I knew about it 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So I knew this was coming up, and it was kind of like, I don't know. You know, the Tempest, from what I remember of the Tempest originally, you know, it was supposed to be like the calm before the storm. You had the calm, and then the Tempest was supposed to be a storm, and then you buy the CD and it's like, it's a roller coaster. Like
roller coaster. Yeah.
What happened here?
It was keeping up with that Dark Carnival shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? I mean, they were teasing about a giant storm coming. And yeah, nobody had any idea it would be a sideshow ride or some shit.
Hey, what's up, fellas? I just wanted to jump in for a second. It's perfectly fine, Rombone, that you haven't listened to Eye of the Storm, because again, part of the reason why we do this show is not only to have a good time, you know, putting up the CDs against one another, but it also gives people an opportunity to maybe hear something that they didn't get reintroduced to it, or you know, some of these albums people haven't listened to in many years, and they'll just make like a judgment based on the whole album of what they think. And a lot of the shows where we've been reintroducing these CDs to people, like, damn, you know what, that's not as bad as I remember it.
I was just thinking that, because a lot of people, especially in the last few years, I've seen say, I didn't like the Tempest when it first came out, but I really like it now. So I am curious to hear tonight's battle, specifically with the Tempest album. And then just to hear the Eye of the Storm tracks as well, because I've never heard them before. But I'm really curious to hear how the Tempest is going to play out, because it seems like over the years it's got more love than it has when it was first released.
I'll tell you this, man. I don't know if you, probably not. You know, this was back, what, fucking 10, 15 years ago. I don't know if you remember the show Ghost Hunters International, but there was a dude on there that was a juggalo. His name was Scott Tepperman. And right around that era, I was reaching out to him and stuff, and I was actually trying to get him to host like a ghost hunting thing at the gathering. And they were pretty close, like to where the next year him and Twisted and Prozac were like actually in the talks of doing something at the gathering. So, in his favorite album by ICP was Eye of the Storm, and he's like a really like OG juggalo. So, for him to say Eye of the Storm was one of his favorite releases by ICP at that time,
yeah,
was really saying something, you know. And I'm not saying it's like a magnificent fucking album,
right?
But there's some hard hitters on that album for me, anyway.
Yeah, Eye of the Storm is like either leftovers or just following what the Tempest was, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Eye of the Storm kind of crept up on me. I mean, the Tempest had been released, and then all of a sudden, Eye of the Storm EP's popping out. I don't think I even got Eye of the Storm like on a physical disc for like years later, you know. I just kind of stopped buying anything, you know.
Right.
But yeah, Eye of the Storm was one of the last physical albums I actually picked up by ICP, and I fucking love that album.
Yeah, it celebrated an anniversary a couple months ago, and from what I remember, a lot of favorite tracks were Yellow Bus, High Rise, and Scatterbrain. Especially Scatterbrain. A lot of people said they love Scatterbrain. I remember that when I put up the anniversary posts I do. Yeah. A lot of people were saying that.
We'll get into those tracks.
Yeah.
Let's run through here. We're on what, number 2?
Number 2.
Rolling Over off the Calm.
Yep.
Versus Ride the Tempest on the Tempest.
Yeah, so I do remember Rolling Over. It's an okay track. Decent way to start out the Calm. Ride the Tempest. I don't really remember that one.
Right on. Rolling Over was definitely a good intro for the Calm for me. It had that, the bouncy, happy fucking ICP wicked shit, but happy, intro that they did. It reminded me kind of Welcome to the Show off Shangri-La.
Okay.
Just what they were going for,
sound wise,
content, but sound wise and intro, like it's the fucking blah blah blah.
Right.
Whereas Ride the Tempest was like delving. Basically, Ride the Tempest is the only track, besides all the sound effects throughout the album, that talks about the Tempest and what it was, what it is, being a ride. And it's, I love Ride the Tempest, actually. I've done animations for that track, and that's one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Yep.
But Rolling Over was good, but not better than Ride the Tempest to me. So I go with Ride the Tempest on there.
All right. Up next, we got off the Calm, Rosemary. I believe it was one of the harder tracks off the Calm, going up against Alley Rat.
Right, Rosemary. I'm sorry. Do you have anything to say about these tracks?
I think am I right in saying that Rosemary was one of the harder tracks off the Calm?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, Rosemary, and then Alley Rat. Yeah, I just don't know.
Alley Rat has almost like a surfer sound to it. It was one of those tracks that when I first heard it, I kind of it had to grow on me. I was like, because at first I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I was used to, you know, more of the Wicked shit. And it's different. A lot of stuff on the Tempest has a different type of sound, but I personally, like, I've listened to the album so many times that I just love it now.
Yeah, it's actually a Shaggy solo track off the album, or one of them. So he does have kind of another one on there also. I remember DJ Clay did a remix for it. I think I may prefer the remix to the original, actually, if I'm remembering right. But this song, yeah, it hits hard. Gang bang, pissed off, South. You know, it's a good track. It's probably one that you'd be looking back on, and be like, yeah, this song ain't so fucking bad. Rosemary reminded me of Violent J's obsession with Beyonce during that time, and so he had this girl singing like pieces of in the background. That's what it reminded me of. Violent J's obsession with Beyonce. You know, the song itself, I don't know, it was weird. It was one of the better songs on Calm, but you know, nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just playing it off my phone into my ear right there. Rosemary is definitely my favorite song off the Calm. That shit is hard. I like that song.
You like that?
Now that I just played it into my ear, I like Rosemary. That's easily my favorite song off the Calm. That shit is hard. I love the beat on it. I love their raps on it. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, going back and listening to these songs like really helps.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's show just so I can like go back. Yeah, and just like go through the Tempest again, go through the Calm, and then here Eye of the Storm, even if it's, you know, because they only play first verse and the chorus.
Right.
But it'll give me a good
Have you even done a once through on Eye of the Storm?
I've never even touched it.
Huh.
Never touched it. All right. So what did you vote for? Rosemary against Alley Rat?
I got to go with Alley Rat.
Okay.
It's a pretty hard Shaggy song.
All right. Up next, we got off the Calm, Crop Circles going up against Haunted Bumps. Haunted Bumps is a track I remember. It's a decent track off the Tempest. And yeah. Crop Circles, it was an okay track.
Yeah, Haunted Bumps was like one of them. This was like actually the first single, I think, that they released for people to hear when Tempest dropped.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever got the Tempest DJ mix kit. They have Haunted Bumps was one of the tracks, one of the 3 tracks that they had the instrumental for, the acapella version, and like the radio edit and all that shit. Haunted Bumps is fucking dope. I love Haunted Bumps. Just comparing it to music that was out around that time, I don't know. It's hard to compare right now. 2007? Haunted Bumps seemed like they were trying to do a more I don't break out of their thing, but not really. I don't know. It was a weird fucking time period for sure. But Haunted Bumps, I like that song. Crop Circles, the fucking chorus kills it for me on there. I don't know. I get the subject matter, and you know, I don't know. The whole song is just, I don't know.
Going Haunted Bumps on it?
Yeah, definitely Haunted Bumps.
All right, up next we got off the Calm, Deadbeat Moms featuring Esham going up against Growing Again. Deadbeat Moms is like probably the weakest collaboration Esham did with them. And usually when they collaborate together, it's fucking heat. Like they come together, they have really good chemistry. But for whatever reason, I think Esham was on the outs with Psychopathic at that time too.
Yeah, he was like, let me leave you with this trash track.
Right.
before I fucking bounce.
Right. Because anytime I see Isham and ICP together, I'm like, ooh, here we go. This is gonna be fire. And this is probably the only. I mean, it's probably the worst track that they've done together, in my opinion.
You know, I don't dispute that like whatsoever. I don't like that song really. Yeah. And Growing Again, going up against Growing Again, that is like one of Violent J's biggest fucking storytelling songs. I mean, the whole subject matter of him like growing so fucking huge and, you know, talking about Shaggy riding on a little basket on his shoulder. And just the whole thing is vivid. It tells a story. I fucking love Growing Again. One of the best songs on the album.
Okay.
One of my favorite storytelling songs at all. Sorry, I gotta plug my shit in here.
Growing Again. All right, that's interesting. I'll look forward to hear that tonight on UFCD. Growing Again.
Yeah, Lakeland Lunacy actually made a drawing for us, and I did an animation for Growing Again. He fucking killed the drawing. He's actually got Shaggy in a little basket, like up on his shoulder, and like Violent J, this giant Violent J, and these like tanks shooting at him. He fucking killed that, you know, drawing he did for us.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Up next off the comm, we got We'll Be All Right going up against Humdrum Boogie. What do you got?
I hate Humdrum Boogie. I really do. You know, I appreciate the content and what it's talking about. But as far as the ICP, I don't know. I don't really care for it. And We'll Be All Right it was one of the better tracks for me on that album. It was definitely not normal ICP sounding for sure. And I remember that song kind of stood out. And then they did the 2005 Gathering of the Juggalos limited edition EP. And they referenced that song on the single that they did, which was, In the Woods, which is also on Forgotten Freshness Volume 5. I don't know, I'm going all over the place, but some people know where I'm going here. But they referenced We'll Be All Right, and that was right during that era. I would go definitely We'll Be All Right.
Okay. All right. Up next off the comm, track number 7, Like It Like That, going up against I Do This. Take it away, Scotty.
All right, I will. I fucking hate Like It Like That. It is too slow for me. It's like irritating, and it's like, just get on with it. I hate that song. I never have liked that song. I Do This. I like the song. I remember this was actually supposed to be the first video that they were like looking for Juggalos to be a part of, and I don't know what the fuck happened to it during that era. It was supposed to be the first music video that they actually came out with off this album, but it never happened.
Did they film it or no?
I have no fucking clue. I know they talked about it in a post. I was like religiously watching Juggalo News and Fago Lovers, and I remember a post about they were going to film a video for I Do This because it was going to be their new Homies track, you know, from the Shangri-La. But I Do This is dope. I mean, it's not a great song. It's definitely better than Like It Like That. That's for damn sure.
Okay. Scotty does not like It Like That.
No, I do not like it like that. Fuck that song. It's terrible.
All right. Up next off the comm, song number 8 off the track, going up against What About Now?
Again, Off the Track was too drawn out, too slow for me. No, I don't like that song either. It's basically Like It Like That, but a little bit slower and a little more irritating. Whereas What About Now is fucking dope. Tells a story, you know, it's like him and Violent J and Shaggy going back and forth, you know, talking all this shit about the state of the music during that time, you know. It's a good storytelling song. It's a good current event song. As far as like Terrible would go, you know, the state of the world during that time period. It's a good fucking track. What About Now is dope. I love it. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now we're moving on to The Eye of the Storm going up against the second half of The Tempest. And we got the intro off The Eye of the Storm going up against Watch My Ride. This is where you can start educating me
an intro
on Eye of the Storm.
Or is it just the madness?
It says, no, there's 8 tracks, intro, and then the madness.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to turn my mic on. There is an intro. It's really short.
Yeah, I thought so. Because it like immediately went into the madness. So I got to go with, what is it? Oh, dude, Watch My Ride? Is that it?
Yep.
I don't really like that song, but I'm going to take it over the intro because I don't even fucking remember the intro to Eye of the Storm.
Yeah.
Watch My Ride. That song was kind of like, I don't know. The whole chorus, and that's when we fuck 'em up, fuck 'em up, fuck 'em up, fuck 'em up. I don't know. Shaggy's verse was okay on that track, but I don't know. The song was fucking weird. I mean, they tried to make it a storytelling song, but it was a boring fucking story. It was like, watch my ride while I'm inside. It's like, watch your own shit. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck.
Kind of like, dude, where's my car?
Yeah, watch my car. But fuck. No, I don't like that song, but it's better than the intro.
All right. Song number 2 off The Eye of the Storm, The Madness, going up against News at 6 o'clock.
You know, I do like The Madness, but the chorus was lackluster for me. News at 6 o'clock. Sorry. News at 6 o'clock was another kind of current events song. And I fucking love News at 6 o'clock. Definitely. It definitely dominates over the Madness. The Madness was okay. News at 6 o'clock was a lot better, though, for me.
Okay. All right. Song number 3 off The Eye of the Storm, Yellow Bus, going up against The Tower. I do remember The Tower because they did a video for this song, if I'm correct.
Yep.
It's actually a decent song. The video was okay. They were like big on the green screen in that era on music videos. So the videos weren't the greatest, but the song was a decent song. I just remember Violent J being all up in camo face paint, I believe. Looked pretty dope, but yeah, not a bad song, The Tower.
And it's going against what?
Yellow Bus.
Okay. Yellow Bus is kind of an anthem amongst juggalos, you know. It's another Shaggy solo track. If you look on YouTube, somebody actually made an animated video for it. Like, I wouldn't say animated, but it's actually decent, you know, for back in the day with juggalo creativity. It's pretty dope. I was going to share it on my Instagram earlier, but my shit fucked up, so I didn't. But The Tower, I fucking love that song. The video pays homage to Charles Whitman, who was what the clock tower. What did they call him?
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah,
like the whole subject matter of dude like up in a clock tower just picking people off.
It's fucked up.
It's a fucking awesome story. I mean, you know, and the fact I remember I had a friend back then who was like telling me about Charles Whitman and shit, and I'm like, oh, well, have you heard this fucking song? And I played him the video for at the Tower, and he's like, you know, he tolerated ICP but didn't really listen to him, but he really fucking dug that song in the video, and they fucking nailed it with that one. The Tower's dope. I love The Tower.
So you're going Tower?
Definitely.
All right. Yeah. And like I said earlier, when Eye of the Storm celebrated the anniversary a couple months back, Yellow Bus was definitely a lot of people's favorite songs, because I ask people what their favorite songs are when I do those album anniversary posts, and that one was mentioned a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
It's a good Shaggy track.
I look forward to hearing it tonight. I like hearing solo Shaggy. Solo Shaggy is usually a good time.
Right. Yeah.
Up next, off the Eye of the Storm, we got High Rise going up against The Party.
You remember either of those?
Well, I've never heard High Rise, and I don't remember The Party.
The Party was DJ Clay's introduction into the Psychopathic family.
Shout out Clay.
It is the first track that Shaggy's own scratching was featured on. It's a great. I loved it when I first heard it. It was just really awesome hearing Shaggy like take a little break for. He was still rapping on there, but he's like telling the story about him and how him and DJ Clay met. At this party, and it's good. They like do a battle of fucking scratching, and they end up at the end like joining forces and just tearing the fucking house down. It's dope. It was a dope intro to DJ Clay, like joining the Hatchet at that point.
That's dope. And I think Shaggy's like underrated when he's on the turntables cutting it up.
Yeah, this was right before Supervillains too. So wasn't it?
After Supervillains.
No, it was after. So yeah. I mean, Shaggy did all the scratching on Supervillains, but this was like showcasing him, I don't know, in this track. And it was pretty dope. The track High Rise on Eye of the Storm, that's like one of my favorite ICP tracks, like at all. I'm not saying a lot, but the storytelling in it, I don't know. It's such a good fucking song. I love it. It's the fucking clowns, man. It's not a rap song. It's not a rock song. You can't like put it in a fucking box and say this is what it is.
Yeah.
It's that fucking sound that ICP bring that only they can. It can't be fucking duplicated, and that's a shining example of a fucking Wicked Clown song. A very good fucking story, talking about a rich man living up high in his tower and, being dragged through every fucking floor down to fucking hell. It's a fucking awesome song. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Which one you going with?
High Rise, definitely. I love
High Rise. It is
fun. It's, everything, but High Rise fucking kills it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Up next, off the Eye of the Storm, we got The Perfect Night going up against Off the Tempest, Bitch I Lied. All right. This is probably random. And when I did the anniversary post for The Tempest, no one mentioned this song at all. This is easily my favorite song off The Tempest. This one actually gets regular rotation throughout the years. I fucking love this song so much. It's just so wrong. It's so fucked up. My favorite line on here is, it ain't no Mr. Right without the Mr. Wrong first, and you fucked up and meant Mr. Worst. Like,
dude, yeah.
It's so bad. It's oh man, it's just his like passion into the song, the beat. I don't know what it is about this song, but it seemed like when I did the anniversary, nobody mentioned this song at all. But I love this song.
That's crazy, because that's actually one of my favorite songs on The Tempest too, dude.
Oh, word?
I play that song over and over, and I feel like a piece of shit for doing it. But this song is so fucking terrible.
Right.
Like the content, but there's like emotion behind it, and it's like, I don't know, man. You could just feel it sometimes. Be like, oh man, it's such a good song.
It really is. What's that?
The Perfect Night. Fuck that song. No, Bitch I Lied, definitely. 100%.
Yeah, because I remember I was working overnights at the time when The Tempest came out, and I was listening to it. I had it on my MP3 player, had it in the headphones, and when that song came on, I was like, "Whoa, hold on here! Here's a fucking song I'm gonna vibe out." I put that on repeat, played it like 3 or 4 times back, and then continued on with the album. I
would play. That was one song by ICP my wife fucking hated, man.
And I don't blame her.
She did not want me to play that song, and I just played it even more. But I don't know, man. Good song. It's bitch. I like The Perfect Night sucks compared. I mean, it's not. The Perfect Night was like a very. I don't know. I didn't even like that song off Eye of the Storm. I listened to it maybe 2 or 3 times, but it was a skippable track.
Okay.
It should have went on the Calm, basically.
All right. Up next, we got another one of Juggalo's favorites when I posted the anniversary, Scatterbrain off Eye of the Storm, going up against Play My Song off The Tempest.
See, I think this is probably the toughest choice for me between these 2 albums. Scatterbrain is so fucking awesome. Violent J just fucking raps about just the randomest shit about John Cusack and fucking, where my swimsuit at? The soup's on in Argentina. I mean, just nonsensical shit, but it fucking goes with this fucking song. And it's a good song. I love Scatterbrain. Play My Song is so fucking good too, though, man. It's just a chill fucking song. Off The Tempest. What you trying to hear? Something about murder? I like that. Play My Song. And dude, Play My Song is fucking dope. I love Scatterbrain too, and that really sucks. They're going up against each other. Fuck.
There's always one of these battles on the UFCDs where you get the two, like there's always those 2 songs going up against each other, and it's like fuck.
Right, and you know what? I didn't like Play My Song for a good decade after this album came out, but it's one of them tracks I went back to, and I was like, "Wow, this song is fucking dope." It's a pretty fucking good song, and I didn't appreciate it back then. So, damn, I'll go with Play My Song. I listen to that way more than Scatterbrain right now.
All right. Song number 7 off the Eye of the Storm is Thrill of the Kill, going up against Mexico City.
Do you remember either of them?
It's all you.
All right. Thrill of the Kill, 100%. Mexico City was like the dog turd of this album, The Tempest. Everyone was like, what the fuck is this song? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's not a fun song to listen to. It's like there's so much other shit to listen to by ICP than Mexico City. It's not.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, fucking Thrill of the Kill. Oh, the fucking beginning of that album. I don't know what movie it's from. I think I've heard Isham reference it. But it's so fucking good. It's a good storytelling kind of track. You'll fucking find out later, dude. That's one of the better songs on this album. And I think it was remixed by Clay. I could be lying. I think they did a remix to it. I don't know how much you followed the Let 'Em Bleeds or Book of the Wickeds or.
I love all those mixtapes. Those shits are dope. There's some bangers on there.
Yeah, because I know they did a Rollin' Over remix off The Calm. They did an Alley Rat remix on one of the Let 'Em Bleeds. It's kind of hit and miss here, but man, Thrill of the Kill, definitely. Mexico City, I don't know. That was a questionable song. But.
Fair enough. All right, and then we're wrapping up the battle here. The last track off the Eye of the Storm is Wind Me Up, going up against If I Was a Serial Killer off The Tempest. I remember seeing ICP on the Tempest tour, and they ended the show with "If I Was a Serial Killer," if I'm not mistaken. And that was what made me a fan of this song. I was like, oh shit. Like live, it was just so good. Violent J up there. If I was a serial killer, you know? I like that song. It's a dope song. I like it. When I saw it live, I liked it even more.
And it was so fucking good. They kept it in the rotation for numerous, countless other shows.
Yep.
When they'd switch the fucking endings, you know, they'd go to one venue one night, do like Pass Me By. Another night they do Nothing's Left. Another night they do fucking If I Was a Serial Killer. Another night they do Bang Pal Boom, you know, and they just, but it was in the rotation. If I Was a Serial Killer, such a great fucking Fago Armageddon song.
Yeah.
Shaggy's fucking verses on there are fucking awesome. I'm trying to think of what it was. Talking about doing a ceremony, go back upstairs and microwave some macaroni. I mean, that song is so fucking good.
Yeah, it
is actually one of my favorite tracks also on Eye of the Storm. And it's a Violent J solo track basically, and him and acoustic guitar, and he's just singing like deep voice. I fucking love the way he did it, you know. It's, you could play the song and people be like, they can't say, oh, that's Insane Clown Posse, you know. You don't know who the fuck it is. It's like something the Wicked Clowns do where they can do this sound that nobody can recognize. They can't pinpoint it, you know. It's like, what is this? Oh, this is Insane Clown Posse. Oh, no fucking clue, you know.
Right.
It's one of them unique fucking songs. I love it. A lot of people probably don't really care for it, but I thought it was a really good standout track on Eye of the Storm. Man, If I Was a Serial Killer, too many good fucking memories attached to that song. The whole content, you know, they fucking made an Elton John song about serial killing, you know. So I got to go with If I Was a Serial Killer, definitely.
It really is a good song. It's great live too. I'm so glad I get to see them like perform that as like the show finisher. And then when you said they performed Nothing's Left as a finisher, I've never got to see that one live.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
I would like
the Jekyll Brothers tour. I think they did Nothing's Left.
I'd love to see that song live, but If I Was a Serial Killer, fresh way to end the show. It's a dope track.
Definitely. All right, we'll tally that shit up, I guess.
All right. I did not keep score for myself because it just didn't make sense. But for you, you scored the Tempest 13 to the Calm and the Eye of the Storm 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But as usual, our votes don't mean shit because when Mike and Cisnak go up and vote, these battles are a lot closer than we expect. And I think people probably in general expect. That's how it usually goes anyway.
Yep, definitely stay tuned and check that shit out. They're going to be playing clips of all these tracks we just talked about. You know, you'll fucking reminisce. You'll be like, I haven't heard that shit for a long time. You know,
I'm looking forward to seeing the animations Brooklyn cooked up for these ones.
Oh, absolutely. You'll find some new favorite songs, possibly.
Speaking of those, I literally put this entire show together today.
That's dedication.
That's great.
I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like nothing was done.
That's awesome. Brooklyn busting his ass. Day of UFCD. I love it.
Yeah, and I worked today too. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, so I also have a special announcement. We do have for the first time a handicap match with 3 CDs up tonight. So why not have a third special guest judge? So tonight we're gonna have Danny Boy as the third special guest judge on UFCD, and we're gonna do something a little different. They're all backstage now, and I was just talking to them. The way we're going to do the voting tonight is I still want to have that chat room interaction. So if the three of them don't fully agree, then it's going to the chat to make the decision.
Right.
Interesting.
And we'll see how this works out. And Rombone, maybe you'll have a new favorite CD tonight.
I'm looking forward to the UFC. I really enjoy this show.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Maybe you'll take the wrapper off of that Eye of the Storm CD tonight. It's funny that he never listened to it, but he has it. He has to have it for his collection.
I have to have it.
Yeah. I look.
It's on.
I can't sit here and say anything about that because I'm not much different. I have shit I've never opened either, but I had to have it.
Right. Absolutely. And shout out to fucking Brooklyn Studio 17 for doing this, having me and Scotty on. Much love.
Absolutely.
It's always fun kicking it with you, Scotty.
Yeah, you too, man. You have a good fucking weekend. We'll see you guys next fucking Friday.
And stay tuned for Mike and Siznak, special guest Danny Boy, UFCD, The Tempest versus the Calm, and the Eye of the Storm. And until next week, we're out. Peace.